What do you need to be happy? Money, good food, or great community spirit? Join me on this journey through amazing places where happiness is the most important thing. Top 10 happiest countries in the world. Number 10. Austria. A country with beautiful landscapes and a great artistic legacy. In addition to excellent life quality and enviable economy, thanks to the 7,213 points given by its inhabitants, Austria is ranked 10th in the latest World Happiness Report. What makes them so happy? Well, here, family is one of the most important foundations. There's no weekend that they don't have fun together doing outdoor activities. Austrians are characterized by their generosity and kindness. They like the simple things in life, plus they're conservative and respectful. How do you get along with your neighbors? In Austria, collaboration among neighbors is key to maintaining good social relationships. Also, customs and traditions are very important. They celebrate the magnificent Salzburg Festival, and, of course, you've heard their characteristic yodeling. During summer vacation, Austrians proudly wear their colorful traditional costumes called Tracht and Dirndl. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger's favorite season to return to his home country. Number 9. New Zealand. Welcome to a magical country and home to some of cinema's favorite landscapes. Here, New Zealanders enjoy beautiful beaches and mountains. Not only does it stand out for its natural beauty, but this country also revolutionized policies, as it was the first to establish a well-being budget that focuses on people's life quality, social equality, access to health, and housing. Thus, social support was acknowledged as one of the main factors of happiness in this country, obtaining 7,257 points in the Happiness Report. This happiness is reflected in their friendliness, solidarity, and the city's openness to multiculturalism. Many tourists have mentioned feeling welcomed by the Kiwis, a term by which they call themselves. Have you already decided to visit New Zealand? Then you shouldn't miss the lovely Hobbiton. You'll feel part of the adventure of the ring. Number 8. Norway. In this country with incredible lakes and mountains, Norwegians enjoy the wealth provided by their wide range of natural resources, such as oil and natural gas. However, Norwegians find happiness in living in one of the safest countries, with one of the world's lowest crime rates, and, according to The Economist, it's the most democratic and peaceful country in the world. In fact, if the population has weapons, it's only to defend themselves from a possible polar bear attack, which is extremely rare. Would you move here? Well, you should know that its population granted Norway 7,290 points in the Happiness Report. If you're still not convinced about living in Norway, you can at least get a taste of their happiness by visiting on a Norwegian Constitution Day, where you'll be greeted with children's parades, marching bands, local choirs, and above all, lots of ice cream and hot dogs. Number 7. Germany. There's no better season to visit Germany than the annual Oktoberfest in Munich. You must already know that Germans have one of the best beers in the world, not to mention their excellent soccer performance, a sport that Germans really know how to enjoy, with a beer in hand, of course. Is that why happiness in Germany has increased over the last years? In a recent survey, 9 out of 10 Germans answered yes to the statement. In general, I consider myself a happy person. In Germany, family and financial security, as well as social stability, have played an important role. The good mood of Germans also seems to be based on important aspects, such as love and the ability to decide how to spend their time. The survey also showed that Germans were pretty happy with their government's response to the pandemic and gave the country 7,312 points in happiness. Do you also want to experience some of the German enthusiasm? Then be sure to go during the Bundesliga, which runs from August to May. Number 6. Sweden. Here, it seems that wealth has had a direct impact on the happiness of the population, and how could it not? If that translates into better benefits for the Swedes. They have free school tuition, free daycare, and housing allowance if your rent is too expensive. Plus, there's great job security. It's almost impossible to get fired in Sweden if the employer doesn't have a pretty solid reason. This gives peace of mind and security to Swedes. However, one of the most important keys to living happily is, listen well, lagom. This term means modesty or balance. So what makes Swedes happy is this philosophy of balance that they apply to work, social, and family life. Forget about overtime. In Sweden, people don't wear themselves out in endless working hours. In fact, working overtime would only result in higher taxes for the worker and employer. I can understand where the Swedes' happiness comes from. Maybe you need some lagom too. For all this, Sweden has 7,314 points in happiness. Number 5, the Netherlands. A country with lots of color, lots of coffee, and the birthplace of artists such as Vincent van Gogh. According to The Economist, the first key to happiness for Dutch people is the fact that half the population works only part-time, as they don't need much more to live comfortably. This leads to another reason that contributes significantly to happiness here. Citizens can spend more hours having fun with friends, enjoy the nightlife, and do some physical activity at least 4 days a week. Believe it or not, there are more bikes than people in this country. Celebrations aren't far behind. Have you heard about the orange fever? The whole country is dyed in this color on every festivity, when they support their teams or during the King's Day or birthday. The satisfaction of Dutch people grants the country 7,504 points in happiness. Number 4, Switzerland. This is the richest country in this top, with an impressive GDP per capita of no less than $75,880. Besides its high GDP, are its inhabitants happy because of its famous chocolates and cheese? Well, while the Swiss eat up to 26 pounds of chocolate per person per year, their happiness goes far beyond that. Apparently, the Swiss have a very high level of satisfaction thanks to their system of direct democracy. Here, all voices matter. Citizens can even decide whether to install a new traffic light or not. The Swiss also have a very low unemployment rate, the highest minimum wages in the world, and the lowest obesity rates in Europe since they're quite active. Let's not forget their strong sense of community and national pride that earned them 7,508 points in happiness. All this surrounded by idyllic landscapes, picturesque villages, beautiful lakes, and of course, the incredible Swiss Alps. Number 3, Denmark. Here, life feels sweet and warm like their famous butter cookies. There's a reason why Denmark scored 7,515 points in the happiness report. The secret may lie in their philosophy of life, hygge. To understand this strange word, you must imagine sitting in front of a fireplace on a cold night wearing a cozy sweater while sipping a sweet wine alone or in company. It's like enjoying the cozy. Hygge. According to a recent study by the Happiness Research Institute, Denmark's happiness is also due to its great trust in the government, economic security, and work-life balance. Danes have a high sense of responsibility and community spirit, pay some of the highest taxes in the world, and believe it or not, say they're happy to pay them. That translates into healthcare coverage, subsidies to cover the cost of college students, pensions, and home care for the elderly. Maybe you should take a different look at your taxes to increase your level of happiness. Number 2, Iceland. Here, they're really workaholics, and it seems that this is precisely the source of their happiness. In Iceland, they spend many hours working, and it's even normal for Icelanders to have more than one job, even if they don't actually need it, economically speaking. When they aren't working, they have a great time mountain climbing, hiking, and skiing. Staying busy and active is the key. Although winters are long in Iceland, Icelanders remain cheerful and optimistic. That optimism rubs off and makes foreigners report the same levels of happiness as native Icelanders, scoring 7,575 points on the happiness report. In Iceland, food brings people together. During harsh winters, Icelanders gather for a grand feast called the Þorrablót that includes great national delicacies, no other than sour ram's testicles, sheep's heads, and their famous fermented shark. Delicious! If you want to eat like a true Viking, prepare your stomach and visit Iceland in January or February. Number 1. Finland. Are you someone who prefers the nostalgic winter weather? Well, ironically enough, you're in the happiest country in the world. What does it have to offer you? Things like 3 million nice saunas, almost one for every inhabitant, and underfloor heating? Yes, underfloor heating. But those are the most ordinary things in this country. Finland, with 7,889 points in happiness, provides its citizens with social support, free education up to college, and its primary education is considered the best in the world. In addition, this country has the 4th lowest poverty rate on the planet. And best of all, Christmas is celebrated here many times. That's right, Pikjoulu, which means Little Christmas, is a series of celebrations before December 25th. Friends, coworkers, and neighbors gather to eat Christmas cakes, gingerbread cookies, rice pudding, sing Christmas carols with great joy, and lots of wine. Finally, and to convince you of what a great time you can have there are ski resorts, reindeer, and the incredible Northern Lights. Do you need anything else? Have you already chosen a country to live happily in? Don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Here are 2 options you can't miss out on.